The views, thoughts, and opinions on this podcast belong only to the hosts and the guests. They don't necessarily reflect any organization or sponsors connected to us. We aim to keep things accurate, but everything you hear is shared for information, conversation, and entertainment. We're going to dive into good laughs, tough talks, and that genuine feel that you came for. So get comfortable, relax into the vibe, and let the moment unfold. This is Keep It Clean. Lock in.
Because if that means it changes now, did you always say it? Then two, if you say it now,
is this needed? Is it accessible? Does it change up everything? What's your thoughts? It make any sense.
So the G League
There's a game that's taking place. Yes, that's taking place.
Tell me why I'm watching the game on ESPN. One of the banners in the background is YouTube TV for the game, but we can't even watch it. How does that make sense?
$20. I don't want no $20. I want the game.
Every time you see me, I keep it clean like a coaster.
Man, welcome back, y'all. This is the Keep It Clean podcast, sports edition. We out here thugging. We know y'all missed us, and we know y'all missing this information. We're gonna have a fun one for you today. We're gonna have a fun one, man. NFL is gonna be super short. We got some ballots, and we got some people that didn't make the ballots. We got some awards that have been announced, and then last but not least, we got Super Bowl predictions with a little bit of slandering that lame Pro Bowl that y'all had. You know, I hate it for you, I hate it for me, and I hate it for the league. Then we get over into basketball, and it's sizzling. It's sizzling. Y'all seen the trades. Deadline just ended yesterday. You gonna be getting this episode today, man. We see the trades. We got All-Star coming up. We see the new teams. What is it looking like? How's the standings? And then what to look forward to as we go forward in the league. And it's a great time, man. So I'm going to go ahead, toss it to the co-host to the left, man. Tell the people what's up, how you been, who is you?
Bees. I'm Abe, obviously. Go Blue Abe, all that. Just happy to be here, my boy. Talk some sports. It is a transitional period for sports because we're going from football to basketball as we rev up for March Madness. We rev up for the playoffs. We rev up for talking about trade deadlines, all this stuff, and, you know, the fun that it was or the lackluster that came with it. So be interesting to see.
Yes, sir, man. And you know where to follow us, man. We on the YouTubes, we're on the TikToks, we're on the Instagrams. There's two other platforms that we will be disappearing from because they called us terrorists. So it is what it is. YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Oh, I didn't tell you about that? Yeah, bro. YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at the Keep It Clean Show. Right? Follow us. We like, comment, and subscribe. We genuinely do appreciate you. And we love when you participate. If you got any questions, let us know. If you have comments, let us know. If you want to be involved in the conversation, also let us know. You can always find links to community involvement. You can always find links into our barbershop talk. You can find links into our cyber library and just get involved, man. So we look out for y'all. And I say all this because it's also a beautiful time. You know what the platform is. I'm also going to highlight Black History Month in sports, right? Abe, I don't know if you have anything, but I'm going to highlight Black History Month in sports, man. Always do the appreciation, you know, from the first that did it, from the Earl Lloyds for basketball, for the Willie O'Ree for hockey being the first Black player there, for the Fritz Pollard and Bobby Marshall in the NFL making way for people like Bill Russells, to your Jim Browns, to everybody else that ended up trickling all the way down. We appreciate y'all. It's always history here, and it's always just legacies, especially when you consider what it is that we have done on the sports front. So thank you to all those great people. And then, hey, man, if y'all got great Black sports stories, always throw them at us. And even if you don't, you listen to the podcast because majority of the players we're going to talk about just so happen to be. Hey, if you got any highlights, bozos, of the week, how you
I like that segue. Obviously, my highlight for the week this week is going to be the Charlotte Hornets.
Okay.
I'm sure our boy Rudy got something to say about this one, but yeah, man, the Charlotte Hornets, 8 in a row, something's happening. Not sure what it was, but they're clicking. They're not just beating, the Utah Jazz, like they beat the Spurs, they beat the Rockets. Like these are teams that we have been talking about that were like actually contenders, and they're beating them, and it just looks effortless. It looks like they're having a whole bunch of fun too. So like
Yep.
it's really great watching those games because I never thought I'd sit here and tell you, hey man, I'm gonna go watch the Charlotte Hornets game because I could have cared less before all this, but now I'm like, man, I gotta catch that game because it looks like it looks like it's gonna be a good game. So
Right.
that's my highlight of the week. I don't really have a bozo because the only bozo we have really is just the whole entirety of the NFL Pro Bowl. How do you play that on a Wednesday? I missed it. Like I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know what time it started. There was no I didn't know the skills challenge. None of it. So if you want to talk about a bozo, that's my bozo for the week.
Fair. My highlight, I think overall, just be how sports was popping off this week. Right. And nothing brings a community of men together like activities in sports, bro. All the group chats were from Monday through the trade deadline.
Yeah.
From top to bottom. Right. And you
Yeah.
always have to see that in the sports world where you don't even have to really get online and pay attention to extra narratives. We was getting facts. Who's there? Who's being traded? Who goes into what jersey? MVP awards, who's getting this Hall of Fame? Like we was getting facts, and then a little bit of rumor just to supplement the TV show. Yeah, always love that. So the highlight, at least specifically for football world, there was some college football shape-ups. It was just small compared to the grand scheme of things. So top to bottom, football and basketball was really keeping us there. I did have multiple bozos this week, but in honor of Black History Month, my bozo, after a great boxing match. See, that's where I also have to get shout outs. Your boy Ray, I do watch boxing, right? Big fan of boxing. Shout out to Shakur Stevenson. He had him about. Got out there and he had to face this dude that I'm not even going to say his name. I'm just going to show what he said and the results.
Oh. Whichever monkey wants to get the banana.
Just wait for it.
Brothers and sisters, I love you guys. Old salute to the power that be above. I thank you guys. I never wanted anything to harm you guys at all. So for that, my condolences to all you guys and to the slavery and everything that's ever happened mentally.
Buddy was making all types. So that the monkey want to be a monkey, that was just one of the things going into this. He throws bananas at people, all this. So Buddy was all races, got beat so bad. You saw his face. He apologized for racism. Shout out to Shakur Stevenson. He did to that boy's face what we all hoped would happen to both of the Paul brothers. He did it in a professional ring. Dog didn't even have no eyebrows no more. Them joints was swollen, man.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Put hands on him. He apologized for racism. That's the bozo of the week right there. That's bozo of the week, man.
Agreed.
Absolute shenanigans, man. But let's go ahead and get started with the NFL, man. Let's get the easy stuff out the way. Do you wanna hate on them first for whatever you just explained on Wednesday, whatever that was? I don't even consider that pro. Or do you want to get into the awards? You want to get into the snubs? Which direction you want to go this week?
I'd like to just quickly touch on the Pro Bowl because I honestly don't want to give them any airtime with this at all. It's sad. It's lackluster. No one cares anymore. You don't care anymore. The players get in. How? We don't know anymore. It just should be done. We should just be done with it. Give them the award. Tell them they're on the Pro Bowl so that way they can continue getting that money. But we don't need to do this anymore. I know David said, we talked about this before, you like some of the skills challenge things that they do, and I think that's cool. Like most of the time, like NBA weekend for All-Star, we're watching the 3-point challenge and the skills challenge and all that, the dunk contest. We pay attention to those things. Once the All-Star game comes on, click. I don't care anymore. I don't want to see it. I'm done. So the fact that, it happened on a Wednesday, midday, I didn't even know about it. No notifications from ESPN being like, hey, the Pro Bowls are on. Nothing. Because they don't care. So why should we?
Because they don't care. Because they don't care. It's hilarious.
I have ESPN alerts on. I didn't get an ESPN alert for the game being on, the Pro Bowl being on. Why should I care now?
Bro, you didn't miss on any of the points. What's sad about it, similar to what you were saying for the NBA side, even if the Pro Bowl back when we were kids was starting to ease up and whatnot, like they go, you get switch outs and it's cool. It never was a football game. We kind of understand. I'm gonna touch back on that, but their skills challenge was fun to watch. At least for me, like I remember it was like for the safety drills, the agility drills, the when they got to the point where they was dropping punch from the drones and seeing if you could catch it, because people don't realize how hard that stuff is. So you doing that to then. It's not that they took away the skills challenge, but you saw the skills challenge get watered down and became more of a, you get the brand endorsements, you coming out in the extra chains and it's the flat, it's the look more than the game. And I get it. You're a high profile athlete. You also earned it. I'm not mad at the athletes at all. I'm more mad at the league when it comes to that. Because athletes are going to do what they're going to do, and the incentives for the Pro Bowl really isn't that crazy to put your body on the line either.
Right.
What we also don't need is a flag football game that happens in the middle of the week that nobody. You know how I found out about the game? Because my mom watches cable TV, and I happened to be in the house, and I was getting ready to leave, and they said Pro Bowl is on next. I said, what? Not the real one. wait a minute, and had to pull it up, and it was the real Pro Bowl there's I don't know. I really don't believe that there's any gain for them to play that game like that, especially for the amount of all-stars that you would have or Pro Bowlers, because you're not going to get everybody in, so you'll be getting dressed, but you may not essentially get warm in that way to play the full game, so you're never going to be happy. I don't know. It is pointless unless you gave a good money incentive. That's the only way that it could happen.
So we're going to NBA Cup this?
No, because at the same time, the owners wouldn't want to risk those types of injuries, especially in the middle of the off or the start.
No, I'm just saying, like, pay them like they do in the NBA Cup. Like, give them an incentive for like trying to try a little harder.
Yes, but why? I think why the NBA Cup does work on the other side is they're doing it during the season. You couldn't convince the players to stay because that's what the playoffs is for. So you couldn't convince them to stay after that. And which is interesting because $500,000 to the All-Star NBA players isn't much, but they make it interesting for the fact that these are teams involved that during the regular season. So people on the other side of the bench may not get that much. I don't know how you translate that to like an all-star game such as the Pro Bowl. And if $500,000 is a lot for the NFL contracts. Yes.
Right.
But I think there's just too much science. The more disappointing piece for the Pro Bowl, I was more excited about watching the senior day drills for the college football players. Like I'm talking about from the offensive line, defensive line, the route running, the coverage. I was more excited for all of that and completely forgot any of the skills challenge in the Pro Bowl was this week. Completely forgot. I'm like, you didn't know. If I didn't see that, I couldn't have even told you that the Pro Bowl had happened. In my head, it was after the Super Bowl or it just didn't exist. We would have went through the whole Super Bowl. NFL season would have been over, and you and I would have been like, damn, we're missing something. Wasn't there? I don't know what it was, but isn't there supposed to be something else?
I love this reform, David. You see how nice he is about this? It sucked. It
Did.
sucked. Like he's being so nice, and I love this for him. It sucked, bro.
It's hard to be meaner because we didn't watch it. I can't even hate logistically or with facts because we didn't see it, man. Like, I don't
That's a
even
good point. That's a good point.
They're not even in Hawaii no more. We knew the Pro Bowl for being in Hawaii. They're going to Vegas. Players don't even get an actual trip. They're going up the street.
Tell me why I'm on social media and not a single post says anything about the Pro Bowl.
Is it open invite? Like, can you attend the Pro Bowl? Let's see.
And you just pull up. There's no way. They're selling tickets like a normal event. There's no way you could just pull up to the Pro Bowl.
No, it says you can. You can pull up. The game was on Tuesday, pardon sell. You can pull up in the Pro Bowl as a feature the 7-on-7 flag football game on Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. And it wasn't in Vegas, it was in San Francisco. Tickets are available for purchase with prices for related events ranging from $29 to $341. And I'm assuming the $341 is like the VIP package where you get to walk around, shake the hands of the players. That's
$340. You can go shake hands with Devontae. Get out of here.
And it's only 7-on-7. The linemen get announced to the Pro Bowl. Don't even play a game. You don't even got nothing for the linemen. That's tough.
Because they're not lining up. It's flag football. You ain't got no linemen. You got somebody just doing this to you with the ball. I'm sorry, bro. I know you're trying to promote flag football because the Olympics now have flag football, and like you even did that during the award show. Cut it out.
Remember?
We don't watch football to watch people run around with a flag on the side of them. Like, we're looking to see somebody get tagged or catch a touchdown. Like, what are we talking about here, bro?
We might have to circle back to old buddy who said Pat Mahomes is nice on the field. Remember when we said that to the group? But
yes. But he's not. Yes. He's gonna be mad as all get out when all NFL players are playing in the flag football for the Olympics. Because get over yourself.
Man, I'm not even going to go on a limb and try to explain it because it's different, but like y'all don't get
these are still the 1% athletes. We're putting them in front of the world, not you who still got a 9 to 5 to go to. Like, we're not putting you out there, fam. You got to take PTO just to go to the games. Like, stop it. We're not doing this.
And at the end of the day, if given the option, if you had the capability and they said you could play in the league or you could play in flag football, you're not playing flag football. I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know. I don't know. What do you mean?
Don't act like flag football was a route you took. Like, don't act like, like I could be Pat, but like I'm really like swinging it out here for like stop it, bro. Stop it. Wake up. What was the Michael Jordan commercial? Stop it.
Get some help.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness, man. Well, and other piss poor decisions, both Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick didn't make the Hall of Fame. Now, I saw the list. I don't know if you saw the list. People that did get in, I respect it. But Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick, we talked about last week. Robert Kraft not getting in, I think we did predict what would happen to him. But
that's diabolical.
Is it? Did Bill do his?
No, not yet. I don't think so.
When is it supposed to be? I know they announced the finalists, but they didn't. They haven't done.
I think I told you the last time I talked to you about this. He said he was doing it the night of the award show. So when they induct the Hall of Fame, like players and coaches, he's going to do it the same night.
Okay. Because did we go over the final list last week? I think they finally announced the final list. Oh no, so they announced it this week. So the final list is Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, Adam Vinatieri, and senior nominee Roger Craig. Right.
All like A1 picks.
Right. This is for the players. Let me see if they have
Let's just make a quick point while you're looking that up. The fact that Robert Kraft doesn't get in, you're associating him with Bill Belichick. That's what you're doing. You're saying, "Oh, you friends with him? No, you can't get in." That's exactly what's happening here. Robert wasn't calling any plays on the field. Robert wasn't telling anybody to deflate some footballs. Like, he's won plenty of Super Bowls before all that stuff even happened. His legacy is not tainted. He's about to win it. Like, he has an opportunity to win another one in a couple of days. Like, can we see that this old man is not out here pulling strings and that he's just the owner of the team? Like, come on.
I know he is the owner of the franchise, so it's kind of like one of the things you remember us working retail. Yeah, they don't know you; they know the logo that you're wearing. Whoopty whoop, right?
Yeah.
So him being the owner, he might have to wear it. And Rob did have his scandal, even though it had nothing to do with football. But people remember because it was associated with the Patriots. If he wasn't the first owner, and he wasn't the only owner in around that time frame that had an issue, right? Off the field. Because I remember the Colts owner had something happen as well. It was just also the fact that the Patriots are at it again. And somehow they equated football being tainted because of a massage parlor. And you know that's exactly what they're doing right now. And this little voting thing. If it was up to the way that they're doing these Hall of Fame snubs, especially for those two, you let them tell it. You would have thought that it was their fault the Pro Bowl ended up like this.
Wow.
If they could blame somebody, you would think, because
global warming.
The separation between the initial cheating accusation back in 2007 to Deflategate, I think was 10 years. And then even for Deflategate, for the game that they went and did that, first of all, it's not really easier to throw a deflated ball for starters.
No.
Slightly deflated a little bit, but the way that y'all making it sound, it was like they was half full. Footballs just don't fly like that.
The ref didn't catch that at all?
Come on. Second piece. When they switched out the footballs, according to the paperwork, to regular footballs, they scored more points the next half. Like they scored more than what they did with the deflated balls. So what do okay. Their resume is still better.
It's crazy. I'm not even a Pats fan. Like, I wasn't like cheering them on when they was doing all that winning either. Don't get me wrong. Like, Tom is Tom. He's a Michigan alum, so like love that. But like, it's not like I was sitting there going, "Yeah, let's go." Like, I was cheering for the Eagles. I was cheering for the Rams. Like any of them ones they was probably running into, I was like, "Come on!" And then all of a sudden, Adam Vinatieri comes around the corner, kicking his game-winning field goal, and Tom doing a 2-minute drive. Like it happened every time. What are we talking about?
But you know the irony of it, not even irony, the absolute disrespect behind it. Those two don't get in, and then they induct Adam Vinatieri in the same one.
The man who literally won them like 4. Like, what are you doing?
But you won on my coach team. You won on the team that I own. And you get in as because we know clutch football is everything. Adam Vinatieri's name is cemented for the fact of how they were using him
100%.
and to win. Okay, cool. You are also, out of all the people involved, possibly the most minimalistic role in this. You made a big kick each time, yes, but that defense was crazy. The offense still had to move. The QB still had to be the QB. The defense had to be coached, and he beat. That's hilarious.
He beat the case. Everybody else still in a RICO, but he beat the case.
This is the retribution for everybody that was hating on the Patriots to kind of be like, yeah, get them. Like this is just enough, like if you picked up your phone and you saw, if you were one of those, you saw your high school bullies, like, yeah, man. Like 10 years later on Facebook, like, look at him, stubbed his toe. Ha ha. Small victories, man, because it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense as to why they're not there. But I think Jamel did explain it, where they can only let one coach in at a time. Yes, I got you. His resume is better than those coaches.
I get the fact that like he's going to get in eventually. He's had time. He's going to have time. All that stuff. When your name comes up and you're one of the greatest coaches to ever coach, whoever was supposed to get in this year, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Give him an IOU jacket, okay? Because he's not supposed to get it this year. Your name got put in with Bill Belichick. I think the people who were up for the fame would understand that they didn't get in because Bill got in. That wouldn't even be like a hurt feeling. That'd be like, you know what? That was a good move. Catch me next year. Like, this is crazy.
It's Bill. It's Bill. What do you mean by this? It's Bill.
Not even close. It's not even close.
Man, dude, do you think they continue it next year?
No.
You don't think so? I'm sure there's like a Kalshi, Kalashi, whatever prize picks, DraftKings bet underlying running on this exact thing.
They can't do this again next year. They've already put out a statement saying that they're looking at the committee and like what they can do for the future for Hall of Fame, like voting and all this other stuff. They're already on the defense because they know the heat that they're about to get for not letting Bill in. So they can play that game all they want to. Next year, they're giving a jacket to him, and they're gonna make sure that it fits right.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this: which one's more disrespectful? Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick being snubbed for the Hall of Fame, or Notre Dame getting a guaranteed spot to the college football playoffs next year?
It's more disrespectful to keep Bill and Rob out of the Hall of Fame. It is way more disrespectful to have because their resume is ridiculous. So for you to look them dead in their face and be like, you know that one time, you know what I'm talking about. That's why you're not getting in here. Forget all these 6 other rings, 7 other rings, whatever. But that one, that's bull. We don't like that. Like, come on, man. Nah, Notre Dame getting an automatic bid is crazy, though.
Oh,
we
man.
just bending the rules
Didn't
for
play
anybody
nobody.
now.
Didn't play nobody. Okay. Well, we do have some awards. We do have some awards, man, for the NFL. They just announced all of those last night. And just to give y'all a quick preview, where are we looking at? Boom, NFL.
MVP, Matthew Stafford.
Man, I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of forgot that those awards were still out there.
What do you mean?
Like I knew the MVP awards and stuff were supposed to be announced. I couldn't have told you who was in the pool other than us having a conversation during the time frame, right? Like I didn't see who was who during that time. But to start off with, to what you said, Matthew Stafford wins MVP. There was Drake. Okay, here's the list. Matthew Stafford wins MVP. Drake May was involved. Josh Allen, Christian McCaffrey, Trevor Lawrence. How? Okay, right. So the votes went Matthew Stafford 24, Drake May 23, Josh Allen got 2, Christian McCaffrey 0, Trevor Lawrence 0.
Mm-hmm.
It appears Justin Herbert also received the last remaining first place vote, but he just didn't finish top 5 in the voting.
Right.
How Trevor Lawrence is in this conversation, I genuinely don't know. This isn't even me being like typical me.
Yeah. No, you're right.
How was Trevor Lawrence in this conversation?
Great question.
Did I miss something with the Jags?
Nope.
Finishing the season?
It's just that simple. It's just that simple. They needed to throw a name in there, and he was the last one. That's it.
I mean, Justin Herbert's right there.
This is one of those don't overthink it situations. They literally threw names in a hat. They drug one out, and they said, "Hey, Trevor, you're one of the finalists," and that was it.
Like, okay, I hear you. I know you don't give it to defensive players, but Myles Garrett was right there. Jonathan Taylor was right. No. Hey, nah.
They don't do running backs. Christian McCaffrey barely got in there, so let's not. They don't give the MVP to running
I know
backs.
they
They give it
don't.
to quarterbacks.
I know they don't give it to running backs, but he did. You already had 3 QBs.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Herbert
They
got
wanted all 5. They gave McCaffrey one because they were trying to be acting like they were being fair.
No, he didn't even get one.
I'm saying he didn't get one, but he was in the list of finalists.
I mean, Jackson Smith wasn't better than Trevor Lawrence. Smith and
Offensive
Jigba?
Player of the Year. He got Offensive
No,
Player of the Year.
we can get there. He deserved that. Yes.
He does
what
not play the position of quarterback, sir.
Does Trevor Lawrence play offense?
He is a quarterback.
Does he play offense?
He sure does.
How can you tell? This could be me overall. I do genuinely believe this. This goes for football and basketball. Whoever wins offensive or defensive player in the year, I think should easily at least be in the conversation of most valuable
for MVP.
In the sport.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Like I think that should be an automatic bid. If you score the most points in basketball, or you are a defensive stopper, if you are the offensive player of the year, defensive player, I think that should automatically give you a bid, all bias aside.
Yeah.
Like that's insane to me that you can win it, because then it almost comes off, or it doesn't, and not almost, it does come off, at least to me. It's not only just the secondhand award, it's also the clear indication, to your point, of we don't look at it. The MVP is QB, y'all get the rest. So this is for the rest of everybody else that's not us. It's type of stupid.
I wish they would make the MVP the actual MVP and do position awards. Like, if you really want to call somebody the best QB of the league, and that still goes into their pay incentive and the escalators and all that other stuff, then throw that out there. Say the best QB of the league, the best running back of the league, the best wide receiver of the league, tight end, offensive lineman, defensive lineman, whatever you want to do. Have those awards. You got enough money to get the plaques for them. I don't want to hear the complaints on that side. But whenever we're sitting here talking about MVP and they're not a quarterback, it's a laughable conversation. The fact that CMC was even in the conversation is laughable, because you and I both know he's a Swiss Army knife. You can use him in so many different ways, and he got so many yards this year, catching the ball and running it. His usage rate was out the roof. His production rate was out the roof. And then he's not even getting a single vote, but Justin Herbert got a vote.
Trevor Lawrence was in the conversation. Josh, and I knew we knew they was going to force Josh Allen. I will say this. I did not expect it to be that close between Stafford and May. May did have a good year, but I don't believe it was a 1 vote away from Matthew Stafford for the way that Matthew Stafford was playing. And, because we're really only looking at one bad game for Stafford, and that was towards the end of the season, which was against the Falcons. But stats said otherwise.
He had the most throwing yards by 300-400 yards. He had more touchdowns, QBR, all that. It was up there for Stafford. It was. Drake May had a great season, and his team did really well, and he's in the Super Bowl. So that's why Drake May's more is in the conversation towards the end of the season. But the MVP is supposed to be the MVP of the 17-game stretch of the season. So if we're talking about that, Matthew Stafford ran away with that.
And I think Drake May was kind of in there in the essence of Josh Allen didn't live up to expectations, and Drake May was close to Josh Allen in proximity, same conference. Was Drake May the second best QB in the league this year?
I think so.
When did that emergence happen?
It wasn't like it was gradual. They've been kicking butt all year, and he's been also contributing to throwing the ball. Not to say he doesn't have a great defense, but he's been throwing the ball all year. He's only 300-400 yards behind Stafford. So, you're talking about somebody who was putting up similar numbers, if not close to Stafford. So, and you see the success of the team's, trajectory and everything that they've done. They've been doing great all year. Now they're going to go play in the Super Bowl. I think you're looking at one of the better quarterbacks for this year. I don't think he's leaps and bounds better than Josh Allen and all that, but he had a better season.
Yeah. I also concede that too, because now thinking about it out loud, I mean, there was a lot of hurt QBs this year too. A lot of hurt QBs, from Joe to Lamar to Pat to Purdy to yeah, a lot of hurt QBs. CJ was out for a little bit. Jaden Daniels was down.
Yep.
Yeah. Dak didn't have better numbers than Trevor Lawrence. What do we do? Hey,
I'm not
giving Buddy credit. Dak didn't have better numbers than Trevor Lawrence.
We're talking about that.
You had George Pickens. Dak didn't have better numbers than Trevor Lawrence.
We're talking about Dak.
He had better numbers than Trevor Lawrence.
Cut it out.
He had better numbers than
there was some
Justin
success
Herbert.
behind what Trevor was doing. There was not as much success with what Dak was doing, and that's how they usually look at it. They say it's about numbers and what you're doing. They also want to see team success. You and I both know we watch the NBA MVP go to the best player on the best team every single year, not about who is the best player in the league. So the NFL is still riding that same wave.
I guess. Okay.
That's what I'm telling you. I'm not even giving it that much credit. It is what it is.
Yeah. So now that we offer MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Easy.
Well deserved. I also do think it would have been more of a debate if Daniel Jones doesn't get hurt, because Jonathan Taylor would have easily been in this conversation. I also want to ask this too. If you're considered for MVP, can you not be considered for Offensive Player of the Year? Because to your point, Christian McCaffrey's numbers wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
Did Jackson Smith have a better year than Christian? He scored more touchdowns. You get the flashiness, but
yeah, I think they're doing exactly what we talked about before, though. Like the team success, like where you're at. So, like,
really quick, pardon so. See the votes. Jackson Smith and Jigba got 14.
Okay.
Christian McCaffrey got 12.
Okay, so it wasn't like a runaway, right?
Yeah. Puka Nacua got 8. Not mad at that. Bijan got 6. Not mad at that. Drake May got 5. How does Drake May get 5 over Matthew Stafford? Don't know. But Drake May got 5. It was like one of those. Yeah, there you go. So he's not winning MVP. Got you. I'm actually surprised that they didn't try to put Josh Allen in there, genuinely, because he was their offense, or James Cook, but they kind of go half and half. Cool.
Yeah, but the numbers don't line up with the rest of those people that's in that conversation, though.
That's a fact. NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year, Carson Schwissinger, who was on a great Cleveland Browns defense. He just, kind of get outshined by Myles Garrett, who is also the Defensive Player of the Year.
Well deserved.
I don't think there was any questions. I'm trying to see who else was even in that conversation. I don't think it matters. Can't come up with one off the top of my head.
Nope.
They did give McCaffrey the Comeback Player of the Year.
That's a consolation prize, but whatever.
There it is. Okay, I'm glad you said it. We here. Yeah. Glad you said it. Like, we need to give him something.
We got you there. Yeah.
We couldn't give you the Offensive Player of the Year either, but we gonna make sure you get an award. We gonna get you one. We didn't. Okay, there it is. In that voting, he got 31 of the votes. Aiden Hutchinson was in there, second place at 9. Dak Prescott with 6. Trevor Lawrence with 2. And Stephon Diggs with 0. Was Stephon Diggs' year bad last year?
Wasn't he hurt last year?
Part of it, but not the whole thing.
Was he a Patriot last year, or was he a Texan last year?
Texans. He was with the Texans.
Right. So he had tore his ACL and came back. So this is his comeback year.
Aiden Hutchinson was hurt. Christian McCaffrey was hurt. Was Dak hurt last year? He might have been. You know who else was in this? Chris Olave, which every time he plays is a comeback because you're so concussion prone, and Phillip Rivers was in the runnings.
Stop. See, this is why we can't take this stuff serious. Like, I'm honestly getting upset by this. This is why we can't take this stuff serious. Why is Phillip Rivers old behind in this conversation, bro?
Technically, it was a comeback.
Bro, don't start.
It was
don't
a comeback. No, come on. Phillip Rivers did come
from
back.
The couch. You're right. Come back from the couch.
He came
what
back.
What are we talking about? They're making this a joke. They're playing in our face. They're 100% playing in our face.
Was he not the most talked about comeback player of this NFL season?
Yeah, because they're trying to figure out where his AARP card was going to be hidden while he was playing in the game, bro.
Did you pay attention to the comeback trail of any of the other people other than maybe Christian McCaffrey in this conversation? Was he not at least a solid nominee for comeback?
No, this isn't the Netflix special comeback player of the year. This is comeback player of the year for the league, not the narrative for the stats and the production that you're putting onto the field. This is not about Netflix.
He hadn't played in 5 years. That's comeback.
When they put out the Netflix documentary for this, I'm just going to ignore it. I'm not watching it. I'm telling you right now.
He upped a lot of people's goals. Jordan only took a couple years off. We saw how that went. Phillip took off 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. He took off 5 years.
This man got grandkids, dog. He got grandkids. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Come on, man. Look, it wasn't, you know what? I think he got snubbed. How about that? It wasn't just football he came back to. He came back to insurance.
Cut this camera off.
He came back to the union.
He came back to get the medical benefits for the
He got the benefits. He came back. He came back to the incentive.
He probably collecting union dues right now. What are we talking about, dog? Come on, man. Stop it.
What do you mean? That has a comeback player of the year, man. Should have been Phillip Rivers. You got snubbed, Phillip. You got snubbed.
Even Phillip don't believe that.
Okay, man. We can go back to the defensive player of the year. They gave it to Myles Garrett. I think they don't even show who's in the votes. That's disrespectful. But it was pretty clear on who it would be. Coach of the year goes to Mike Vrabel.
Good move.
Yeah. Coach of the year goes to Mike Vrabel.
He could have gave it to Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel, or McDaniels. Like any of those. Oh, sorry, Mike McDonald, not McDaniel. McDonald.
Yes.
Like
okay.
any of those you could have gave that coach nod to, and I probably would have been A-okay with it. The fact that Vrabel's literally playing in the Super Bowl, New England's back, whatever. Yeah. That's a great move.
Second place was Liam Cohen. So Mike Vrabel got 19 votes. Liam Cohen got 16. Then Mike McDonald at 8. Ben Johnson with 1, and Kyle Shanahan rounds it out with 6. So technically, at least the way it says, Shanahan had more first place votes, but still finished behind Ben Johnson.
That kind of feels wrong to me because I feel like Ben Johnson flipped Chicago. Like no diss to Kyle Shanahan because he definitely had like a pretty good run with San Francisco and like keeping that like sustainability of like where they've been, but that to me feels like the same product that he's been putting on the field the last 5 or 6 years or so. Whereas Ben Johnson literally came into a head coaching job where they were literally upside down last year, brought them not only to a good point, but like into serious contention this year. What they finished the season like 14-3. Like that's a crazy turnaround with everything that they had built up. So
you think he should be higher?
I think Ben Johnson should have been at least second.
Ben Johnson should have been second over Liam Cohen in Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Over Mac in Seattle?
That's what I said. If you would have gave it to one of those three, I wouldn't have been mad.
Okay. Okay. I feel you.
So you can toss that order around however you want, but those 3 coaches, in my opinion, turned a bad situation into the best situation possible. McDonald is going to the Super Bowl. Vrabel's going to the Super Bowl.
Right.
And, like, Ben Johnson's, a game away from going to the Super Bowl, potentially? Like, that to me is like, these three showed, here's your dirt, take your treasure. Like, they took the dirt and turned it into a treasure, in my opinion.
Okay. I will just ask a question to it. Can Kyle Shanahan, in your opinion, get in that mix, considering how many injuries and essentially the dirt he had in San Francisco to even not only be competitive, but be right there with both the Seahawks and the Rams in that division? Like, we saw how that division finished, and it was just nose hairs across the finish line.
Except for San Francisco's last game, but yes.
Yes, so it's like they and even that last game, a lot of people are sitting
right,
with that,
and they got hurt and everything else with Kittle's out, all that stuff. So, like,
right.
yeah, I get that point.
Yeah. Okay. Liam Cohen. I think were they just trying to give the Jaguars? They weren't. They did do better this year. Yes. Yeah. It's also nothing I haven't seen from the Jaguars when they were getting to the playoffs. It's like, it was cool, y'all got here, and then nothing happened. Right. Trevor was being Trevor. Okay, cool. Hey, man, I don't know if I don't think there's anybody else that we're talking about. Sorry, lineman, we just not giving you love that you deserve. I see the results.
You're used to it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. So, with that being said, there we go. Defensive Player of the Year's finalist: Will Anderson Jr., Houston Texans, defensive end; Nick Bonito, Denver's outside linebacker; Myles Garrett, Aiden Hutchinson, Michael Parsons. When did Micah get hurt?
I don't know. Maybe the 4th or 5th game before the end of the season.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I do want to read this one. NFL Offensive Rookies of the Year finalists: Jackson Dart, Mecca Egbuka, Trayvon Henderson, Tatoria McMillan, Tyler Show out there in New Orleans.
Who won?
McMillan by a landslide.
That's pretty good. He was killing it for Carolina this year.
41 first place votes.
He was killing it this year. Him and Bryce were connected well this year.
Second place got 5.
Who was that?
Tyler Show. Got 5. Trayvon got 1. Jackson Dart got 1. Emeka Egbuka got 0. Trayvon had a tough situation because
Egbuka got none.
He got 0, but he had a stint where he was hurt.
Okay.
He did have a stint where he was hurt, so he had missed some games. That hurt. Same thing with Jackson Dart. He had missed some games.
I mean, because he kind of came out the gate to start the season, and that's what I'm thinking of right now.
Yeah, he started off on fire. Yeah,
he did.
And then even when he got back, he kind of cooled off a lot because the Bucks they weren't clicking the way that they were supposed to. Jackson Dart gets hurt. Honestly, Tatoria McMillan did have a great year at the rate that Jackson Dart, and more so specifically Cam Scatterboo, was going. It might have been a tougher race, but McMillan was just so consistent. Tyler Show, you were just on a super
and they had success. And they had success.
Yeah, and Trayvon Henderson, you had to deal with Ramondre Stevenson starting in front of you, so that made it difficult. Cool. All right, man. We got all that done, man. We finally got that out of our system. That's the last you're gonna get from us. I'm gonna be honest with you going forward, even with the Super Bowl. I might spin the sports show. We're going to talk about it, but if it's just us two, Abe's going to give you more of the game. I might just be critiquing more of the commercials because I just got to hold on to as much football as we have, because y'all know how long that wait is. Y'all know how long that wait is to the next season, man. And it's the only other thing that's going to come up, unless a massive trade happens. College football is probably going to take over just simply for the fact that all the NIL conversation is still going to be there. That's juicy. You see who's going to be in the transfer portal. Is anybody else going to announce for the draft? The draft news might be coming up, but I got to see you on the field. At least that's my perspective. I don't care about it until I see you on the field, quite honestly, bro. Like, yeah, man. You still doubling down?
Yep.
On your okay. Just making sure. Cool.
No waiver.
Well, let's go ahead. Get to what we're really here for. Them NBA talks. I'm gonna just go ahead and start it off just with the landscape.
Yo, that's a crazy graphic. Wow.
Just with the landscape, man. This happened over this past week. This is what happened over this past week. This is the majority of the people that were involved in something. This is the new landscape of the NBA. It looks crazy, right?
Can you just leave that out there while we talk about this for a minute?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into it, man.
Wow.
You saw it, just like we said earlier, group chat popping. We don't have to get to the players yet.
Yeah.
How did you feel towards the end of the trade deadline, what it looks like?
So normally the trade deadline is like probably as bad or good, however you look at this situation, as like the Desperate Housewives show. Like, it is just primetime TV for us in the NBA because there's a whole bunch of stuff that's happening. As far as the trades that were happening, I was like, what is going on? There wasn't a big name really happening. You know, Giannis was getting dangled in front of everybody's face for weeks, and the Bucks were just playing in your face. They didn't care about trading him right now. There was no benefit for them to trade him right now. Sorry about you. You start looking at some of the AD trade, like AD going to the Wizards. What? Isn't my man still in a chicken wing? Like, what is happening? Like, the Wizards are like, we're gonna trade for you because you're not playing the rest of the year. We're gonna sit you and Trey. We're gonna get us a top pick, and then we're gonna revamp this next year when we go at it. Sounds like Utah's got sniffing in the same situation with getting JJJ. And the James Harden trade going to Cleveland, that felt like okay, but how is Donovan Mitchell and that going to work? You start looking around, you're like, Vooch going to the Boston Celtics. I'm like, man, better get that corner three ready because your name is now Al Horford.
Essentially.
Congratulations. Yeah, and it's not a bad thing, but it's like, yeah, your game where you were just doing wherever you wanted over here, that's over. And then, like Kristaps going to Golden State because Golden State was like, we have to make some move. They're not moving Giannis, so we got to do something with, Kuminga. We got to be over this saga. They sent him to Atlanta. R.I.P. that one. And then Zubac. I mean, some of these names, the one obviously that affected me was Kennard coming to the Lakers. I'm like, we gave up Gabe Vincent and a second pick to get Kennard. And I'm like, what? We have a taller shooter? Great. Doesn't help our defense. But he is like one of the top 3-point shooters in the league right now. So I'll hold off my hate on that one right now because I just, obviously want other things. But we're going to have a lot of cap space and money this summer. So that's all I'm really thinking about.
Fair enough. I think my perspective, seeing all this gave me two solidified results. The Bucks are liars. The Warriors are failures. That's my takeaway. The Bucks are liars because you and I spoke on this just last night. You've been dangling the not even essentially just them, but the Giannis trade idea and talk has been going on since this time last year, even before this time last year. So
yes.
You, as the Milwaukee Bucks, they had every opportunity to make something happen to appease him. This man has heavily affected that Milwaukee organization. The amount of coaches that are still on payroll that have seen Giannis with winning records. You bring in Dame doesn't work out. He's already back to where he was. Once it was announced that Dame goes back, to me, it's all hands on deck as far as trying to make some type of moves happen and either assist Giannis, or even though I know he's saying he wants to stay, while I get that, it seems like as a business, you might have to make a business decision because it doesn't show where you're going to be able to keep him, and now's the time to strike while he's hot because he is at that age where you start asking some questions. So you go from there and then trade for Kyle Kuzma. Like, bro, just swing and a miss. That's an air ball at the free throw line. No defense, not even a crowd. It was just you by yourself in the office shooting the free throw and air ball, bro. Bad move. So teams were clearly trying to get him. I don't know too much as far as what they were possibly asking for. It is Giannis. You do want some picks. But I don't know, as Milwaukee, because there's the possibility that Giannis still may be out. What do you have to build around right now? So maybe that was it. You want some pieces back that you could build around. It's hard to buy into draft picks because as much as draft picks are worth, the OKC San Antonio success is success that takes amount of years of losing and hoping that those rookies turn into something. So I get it. And not many teams that are in the hunt had a collection of players that I feel like you could throw together to equal Giannis that are at least in the hunt. What did change, I feel like, now going to the failure side, I do feel like there was a possibility. I'm reaching out on a limb, but before he got hurt, I think there was a possibility that Jimmy was on the table.
Yeah, because for sure.
You could take.
They were still trying to trade him with Jimmy.
Still trying to trade him. Yes, but I don't think, especially at that age, that you could have sent him to Milwaukee and it would have been successful, right? But with the Warriors, why I believe that they failed, you don't have any more years that the Lakers have with LeBron that you have with Steph. And if you weren't trying to win now, I think the Warriors were too comfortable because you know that Steph isn't going to leave Golden State. It'd just be career damaging for him, the business, to leave Golden State. He's going to retire there. But he's still playing well, and you still have an opportunity. You got to get him something. So by the time it was found out that Giannis wasn't available, some moves had happened. But I think in that essence of aiming for the big fish, and this is also where I can understand being in a tough business situation, it's a shitty one at that. There's certain moves that are happening where if you knew that the Bucks were going to back out, maybe they did go for Anthony Davis. Right? If you obviously, just like you say, eating a chicken wing, but it seems like Rich Paul and him have insider information that he's going to be back. Right?
Yeah.
You might have taken a swing at Jaren Jackson Jr.
Right.
Maybe like fitting in the team. I'm just throwing the names out there. You had sabotaged it to where you didn't get a chance to go for any other fish, and then you gave away Kuminga. I would have kept him at this point. I mean, for what you got back, because Kristaps can help, but consistency as far as his play or his injury availability is also up in the air as well, man. It was just some decisions like that. That was when I look at this picture, it's like, bro, there was so many opportunities here, right?
Yeah.
And you miss. Now,
and can I say one thing about Giannis real quick?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I believe the Bucks did not make this trade because they're waiting to see where teams shake out for the draft order on picks. Because they want to see the best opportunity to get that number one pick. Because you and I both know this freshman class that's coming out, or the people that are coming out of this year in the NCAA, crazy.
Yes.
You can probably land 1 through 10 and have, this is a strong statement, you could probably have a franchise player 1 through 10. So I think the Bucks are waiting to the end of the year to see where people's picks shake out. Because whoever's got that number 1, maybe number 2 pick, maybe a couple picks in this coming up draft here in the first round, I'll probably trade with them because they have the better chance for me to turn my franchise around. Because once you lose Giannis, you're in a rebuild. Call it what you want. Yes. You're in a rebuild. Yeah.
Is it the fear of the what if? Like when it comes to draft
Absolutely. Because you get a trade, turn around. I give you some players, or I give you Giannis. Giannis all of a sudden is playing well and he's healthy, and then you play yourself out of a situation to where now my draft pick, instead of it being a top 15 protected, is now, you know, in the top 30, and that's not what I'm here for.
Super fair. Super fair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I would like to approach the overall trades, because we may not get into all the smaller ones, right? But I would like to start in the aspect of just want you to process. Just want you to process this right here, man. I just want you to process this right here. This is a culmination of we're going to Vegas, right? If you're watching, take the pause. The Dallas Mavericks, in an update after trading Anthony Davis, essentially traded Luka for Max Christie, Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Malachi Branham, and Marvin Bagley, with one of OKC's many first round picks. That's what Luka got traded for. Some of these players y'all don't even know.
A bag of rocks and some Skittles on the side. That's what this man got traded for.
A pocket full of lint and dreams. This is
the
what
Mavericks
want
to be the Las Vegas Mavericks so bad, bro. They want out of doubt. They said we'll destroy the team. Watch. We won't even make American Airlines in a jump no more. Watch this,
bro. This isn't even a bag of chips. You traded Luka for players that a lot of people don't even know. And
Max Christie is the only
pick.
name on here.
You do know Chris Middleton. He just hasn't played in a little bit. At least Chris got a ring, but it's been a little bit. But Marvin Bagley, all respect, dude. You kind of had your injuries. You might have missed your window of opportunity. Maybe you turn it around, but you're going to a team that still has Gafford. I know his contract is kind of up in the air. You still got Lively. What are we doing?
It's not a lot of tech for you there.
And okay, you got the Lakers first round pick. That's in 2029. 2029. Luka might have 2 rings if my prophecy comes true and Jokic goes to LA by 2029. Like, what did you gain for this? And then you got the 2030 pick. 2030, 4 years down the road. Are the Mavs going to Vegas?
100%. This is, for me, it's like, this is writing on the wall. There's nothing else to talk about. They're going to Vegas. They said, okay, you know what happened in Seattle? Let's talk about this real quick. Seattle couldn't sustain a basketball team because they couldn't get people to the arena on a consistent basis to then pay for said arena, right? Okay. What do you think you're watching in Dallas? They're mad that Cooper Flag is hooping right now because that's not a part of the agenda. Cooper might get shut down at some point at the rest of the season. I'm just letting you know. The powers may have to say what it needs to be because I'm trying to tank this team to where people don't show up to the arena. Now, the only bad part about that is people in Dallas like basketball. So they're going to still pull up and watch the game, especially because you got Cooper Flag and the people that are coming in each game. But I'm telling you right now, we already know they're trying to get out there. This is the perfect way to do it.
I mean, okay. I don't disagree with you. They're not in a position that currently they are ranked. They're not even ranked. They're 12th in the West at 19-32. Mm-hmm. I don't even know if Kyrie's coming back. I don't think there would be a need to. I don't know if Kyrie's coming back. I'm actually surprised at the same time, too, because at least the original projected date for Kyrie to come back was supposed to be January, top of January, right? He did tear his ACL relatively early. It's been plenty of time. We also know Kyrie comes back on his own time. I can also completely see if I'm Kyrie, I'm looking at it like,
For what?
Anthony Davis went out again? Okay. So what am I coming back to? OKC still looks like OKC. San Antonio then popped out of nowhere. Denver still Denver. Houston looks scary. And then the rest of the teams are still the rest of the teams. In a wild situation, Portland is ahead of Dallas. Not by much, just a couple of 4 games in total. Portland's ahead of Dallas. As proverbial losers, and Dame is probably trying to consider some comeback right now. Which raises my second question. Did Nico just have to take the fall? Was he the fall?
We're just not gonna let this man just go off into the sunset ever, are we?
Was he the?
Of course, he was the
traded.
fall man. I always thought he was the fall man. There's no way in
You
the
always
world
thought he was
you
the
get to
fall man.
sign I did. There's no way in the world you sign
break
the
it down.
documentation of sending Luka for chewing gum, and like everybody's cool with that. Oh yeah, he was a little out of shape. He took you to the finals last year. What are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, I love the fact that Rob fleeced him. Obviously, I love the fact that Luka is in a Lakers jersey. I always thought he was the fall man in this situation. There's no way in the world that gets signed without him. Mark Cuban, love you, bro. I know you did this for your family. You got $3 billion. Like, it makes a whole lot of sense. You taking your foot off the gas and handing that over to them is the reason why that happened. Because if you were at the helm, that would have never happened. That trade would have got sent to the league. Mark would have picked up the phone and said, absolutely not. Reject that trade. We're not following through. I'm not signing Jack. And hung up the phone. There's no way in the world that would have happened with Mark there at the helm.
Yes. Counterpoint. No trades would have happened if Mark was at the helm. They still would have been losers.
This is another good point. Yeah. No. And especially when they traded with the Lakers, he hates them. Fair. They would have never done that. Yeah.
Because it's historically, we've also seen where Mark Cuban has a very difficult time trying to get players to come to Dallas. In general, very difficult time with that. So,
yeah.
Not to say as much, but he also would not tank his team like this. And this is the part that I love, like, because we love this at this platform, man. You weren't there when I initially said this. There were some other brothers of ours that was on this platform that was looking at me like I was crazy. It sounded like a tinfoil hat theory when I first said it. I tried to break it down. I worked for the state government. I know what the Texas Lottery Commission did. They banned gambling because of that, and it just sounded like a harebrained scheme. But when I said these new Vegas owners are trying to go back home unless Texas gives them a casino, if you give them a casino, they don't give a fuck about basketball. Lose, win, whatever. Do what you do. Tickets are being sold because we have a casino the same way that they're set up in Vegas. No one's going to Vegas for the Raiders. The Raiders just happen to play your team, and then I can go spend some money on a vacation. That's what they're trying to do here. Sounded crazy when I said it. It did. Now look at you. Now all of a sudden the theory's cooking with grease. now it's tantalizing, bro. There's no the Wizards, hurt or not, the Wizards did not have anything that was deserving of Anthony Davis. We can make the jokes all we want. He has played significantly more these last 2 years than he has shown. The street clothes thing just stuck, right? But he did play a good amount of games. Him, Kawhi, a few other players have been playing a decent amount of games.
Right.
The Wizards, you couldn't have gotten anything. Nobody in the West wanted Anthony Davis. Was this just a shot at Rich Paul? Alternate theory. Was this just a shot at Rich Paul?
I think you're pulling from the other side of the pod with this one, but I think I don't know. The conspiracy on this one, no one else in the West wanted him. I don't believe that. I mean, Atlanta was in talks. I'm sure some of these, NBA teams that are in the West definitely wanted a chance at Anthony Davis because we all know when healthy, one of the greatest players on the floor. So the health is always a question. It is a question, but high risk, high reward. We out here playing Freaky Z and shoot 'em up job, but we don't want to take a chance on getting AD who could actually improve your team. Yeah, I don't believe that.
And that's where the struggle comes in as well too, because I think that's what makes the trade deadline so thrilling to watch.
Yeah,
because the businesses are having to make a decision on where we're going to try to put our eggs in this basket. So if we're
Yep.
going all nothing, trying to go get this big fish and whatnot, you may have to turn a blind eye to an Anthony Davis. I think where it gets weird with this one, Rich Paul did the announcement weeks back saying he wants to trade. So whether or not the business was going to, or the organization as the Mavs were going to do it or not, don't know, but he's disgruntled.
Yeah.
Throw a dart in the dark. You're going to hit something.
Yeah.
Throw a dart. Just,
yeah.
You might hit something. Now, you did bring up the other part too. That's my third takeaway. Nobody wanted Ja. Nobody.
I don't think that was the case either. I don't think that's the case either.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you want us to believe as fans.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted Ja Morant.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Break it down, man. What do you think is happening in Memphis?
I think the same thing is happening in Milwaukee. I think they're waiting to raise the level to where they need it to be to showcase Ja Morant's talent for the rest of the year with these young guns who are going to give Ja the ball because he is the primary, scorer for that team, depending on the night. But I think they're going to showcase Ja's talent so that way they can get a better draft pick for the end of this year. I think when the draft comes around, I think they want to kind of be in a better situation so that way they can get a better draft pick.
If you're Ja, do you try? Because the same team just traded Jaren Jackson Jr.
You do, because whenever you want to sign with another team, when you get traded, you want that extension to be a max, not, hey, here's a couple million because you've been acting up. You want that major contract, and you want it to be as high as it possibly can.
Let's see. Is Ja eligible for a super max? Look. I don't think he's eligible for a super.
I don't think he's eligible for a super, but I'm just saying, whenever it comes into negotiation, I want to be able to go to the table and be like, give me as much as possible, rather than being like, hey, Ja, here's 20, be happy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's why he's still going to put that on the floor, because he has to in order to get paid.
Because he missed the escalator to the Supermax in 2022, 2023, but he's still eligible for a max, or I guess he can renegotiate, but he's not eligible right now. He still remains locked into a max contract or max level. If I'm still looking at a max level and y'all just traded, because I don't know what Memphis's goal was. I do believe if you trade Ja, you have Triple J. Like, you still could have did something with him. It's also interesting too because he isn't panning out for the type of defense and rebounds that you're looking for. So based on where he went, he don't have to rebound no more. That's a win for him. Mm-mm. But I just don't get what is it that Memphis is looking for? Like what would you trade for a job based on the pettiness that they're displaying? It's not pettiness.
No, you're right. Because it's like, how do you want me to buy $100 off of you, but you're showing me it's only 20? It's you're treating him as a $20 bill, but you want me to pay 100. Like, why is that the asking price for him? And it's the same situation. I believe Memphis wants to take Ja and give a franchise player back. So they want either you to give me somebody really good, or you give me a top 10 pick in next year's draft, so that way I could go find somebody else.
The Hawks got rid of Trae Young. How can you not get rid of Ja? And I don't want to say get rid of Trae Young. He's still a player. The Hawks were able to trade Trae Young. You couldn't have traded Ja.
Of course they could have.
Memphis leads me to also is Utah contenders now? They did get Jaren Jackson Jr. You still have Lauri Markkanen. You have the potential. He's been kind of quiet this year. We're still working on development. I think he was injured, but Ace Bailey is there. You got you a nice rookie that you can form around. I would start to answer the question myself. I don't think Utah isn't trying to buy in. I do believe that them getting Jaren Jackson Jr. is possibly an attempt to convince people that they're going for it, because I don't know if Lauri, I can't remember, did Lauri re-sign? I know he was in trade talks last year. Did he re-sign with them?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay, so if he didn't re-sign with them, maybe trying to convince him to sign and stay there because he's on the table, or you're able to trade him and get some picks and then build around Triple J and Ace Bailey, which is a great situation. I do hate it for any black man that gets traded to Utah. I do. I just like, is it safer than Memphis? 100%. 100%. Is it safer for you overall? Debatable. Based on how they treated Russ, I don't know. Russ don't need to lie. Russ don't need to lie. So yeah, they may have did essentially still a bag of nothing in the West. They're 16-36. Like Triple J ain't gonna put them in the playoffs. Go ahead.
So to that point, what you're asking, I think Utah put themselves in a position with picks to where they're in an OKC situation. So like the next 6 or 7 years, they have enough picks to like line up with OKC. So I think what they're trying to do is put JJJ on the back burner with Lauri Markkanen, Kessler, all that this past year. Trade away all these kind of picks that they got the past year where they're like, Clayton, some of these other guys that they had that they were high on, but they know that they can get some decent value for. And now they're about to go into the draft and do what they need to do in order. So you bring back Ace, you bring back JJJ, you bring back Lauri Markkanen, you bring back some of these guards that they're probably going to get out the draft. Now you have a young core like OKC to where you can try to go for a run.
So is it really the long, because they did get Lonzo during this time frame too. You scoop Lonzo, he's been playing all right. Lonzo and Triple J sounds crazy now when you really say it out loud. Lonzo and Triple J sounds crazy. If they're
and imagine just getting a pure score, just a pure score to go onside of that.
Yeah, Lonzo and Triple J sounds crazy. But Lonzo also plays more defense than Triple J, which I can understand being frustrating. Picks to be OKC, you need them. I'm really trying to think of the future too, because the Spurs are still right there. And you know what? They might be able to get more picks from the Spurs because they were at one time last year before the Giannis carrot was being dangled in front of the league. They were interested in Lauri Markkanen as well, which is still crazy to have next to Wemby. That it's just too many options. Okay. Golden State trading Kuminga to Atlanta. I'm going destination to destination, and then we're going to pick up on where they traded. That's the path that I'm on right now. It just happened to end in Utah. Utah didn't trade him without nobody else. So Golden State, Kuminga to Atlanta. Atlanta also picks up Gabe Vincent. How you feel? You already said the Lakers piece. How you feel about the Kuminga piece?
The Kuminga piece to me just was like, we weren't getting Giannis, so we had to get somebody. We had to get off of this Kuminga drama. So finally, like it's been happening for 3-4 years now. They finally get off the drama. So that part is nice because it shows that like they finally are able to move past it. However, Kuminga was supposed to be a piece for Giannis. And if that's not happening, I'm sorry, Kuminga, you're still getting paid $20 million. I'm gonna need you to suit up tomorrow. Okay? I'm gonna need you to put a smile on, and I'm gonna need you to suit up because that's what's gonna have to happen. Because I'm not leveraging my future for this move right here. This helps us a little. It doesn't help us enough. Giannis was supposed to be like the all. Draymond was in that. You were in that. The left goat on the other side was in that. Like whatever we needed to do, that was going to happen. The fact that it didn't, suit up. Dalton Connect is mad at us right now.
As
We're
he
not
should
letting
be.
you go for just crumbs, though. Sorry, you're a great player. We've already seen that. You've shown sparks the
Boo.
last couple of years. Sucks.
Boo.
Part of business. Sucks.
Y'all treating him like he black. Y'all treat Don like
Yo,
he black.
our roster almost white, so like, you know what I mean?
The Lakers roster being predominantly white in Black History Month is the wildest key indicator that we are cooked as a society, because we haven't seen this since the 70s, since Jerry West.
Yeah, this is bad.
Okay, now Atlanta trading Trae Young. Do you think they won, or was it just a hot fire, you got rid of him? Because I don't, when looking at that trade, I don't think they cleaned up necessarily, considering who Trae Young is.
As far as stats go, yes. But as far as who he is on the floor and what he does for your team, I mean, Trae Young is a 25 and 8 type of player every night, and that's great. But that hasn't been leading to success for Atlanta. So not to say that Trae can't go somewhere and give you that success, but it's just not working in Atlanta. It's okay to like say this, like this relationship is not working. Like it's okay to say I need to move on to better things. But obviously the Hawks didn't win in this trade. But I also think that they won by the drafting of like Jalen Johnson and some of the other guys that they have, to where they're looking at Trae going, you were the franchise player, you no longer are now. And I have someone that's backfilling your position.
Does Washington landing Trae Young and Anthony Davis wasn't a move that I saw. That was far from my bingo card of the NBA season. Them both being in street clothes at the same time is hilarious, because you saw it. They're talking about Trae Young may not play for the rest of the season. I don't even know what is wrong with him, but he may not play for the rest of the season. Now that he's been traded to a losing team, that chicken wing might go for both arms. Just because I don't know a reason why I would want to come back if I'm Anthony Davis. But in a healthy situation, where are they at? Let me see.
But that's the whole point. They don't have a good situation right now, so they're going to sit them so that way they can have a better situation. So next year they can come back, have a high draft pick, have the team come back with Trae and AD, and then see what that looks like if they're healthy.
You do got Alex Sarr. Good little pickup. That's cool. I guess. I don't like it. I don't like it personally.
No, it looks terrible on paper. It looks terrible. Yeah.
I do like the fact that bouncing to the next location. Shout out to Chicago for finally freeing Kobe White. And of course, he went to the team you highlighted and is now having fun in Charlotte. Kobe, unfortunately, though, is still in a situation of perpetually losing. And that sucks. Chicago started to get better. I don't know if they're trying to build around Giddey, because you trade Vucevic, you trade Kobe. Are you? Is that what's you're right?
Please tell me that's not the case.
What was their end game? You get Colin Sexton, you trade Vucevic, you get like they got in that same picture. Chicago got 4 players. You get Colin Sexton, you got Anthony Simons, you get players that don't move the needle. Essentially,
you got Rob Dillingham. Yeah, like you got a whole bunch of guards out of this deal, so maybe they're gonna be the wheelhouse for young guards to come trade for, so then they can eventually be in a better position. But right now, it just looks like a rebuild.
Chicago's tallest player right now is 6'9". Chicago's tallest player right now is 6'9". Speaking of guards, though, you ever have a situation, or them situations, it's always like a movie where they have the relationships and wife gives the husband a hall pass and then before he comes back? That is Mike Conley. Mike Conley got to go outside and dabble for a little bit. Buddy gets traded to Chicago. He goes out there, says what's up to the city. Boom, boom, boom. Then he gets traded to Charlotte. Oh, another great destination near some seafood. Boom, boom, boom. They release him, and he's back in Minnesota as of today. But he got to go slang it a little bit and come back home. Which
did he even leave Minnesota? Like, did he
That's
even
what I'm
leave
saying.
Minnesota? Like, he probably did. They probably just told him to hang tight.
This looked like the media or the age of social media where it's like, hey, we gonna pretend to break up, right? We gonna get some views. We gonna have a great series where we came back together and discussed our flaws. He didn't even pack. Man got a text message. He said, hey, don't say nothing. Just stay at the crib, but it's gonna look like you're leaving, but just let us work.
The fact that they were able to go get a guard from Chicago who's actually really good and then keep Mike Conley at the same time is crazy. Crazy work.
To still continue to develop and everything. Shout out to Mike Conley because Mike Conley is the definition of professional, right? Definition of professional. I think they said he only has one technical foul in his entire career, which is absolutely insane, but definition of professional. So you get Mike Conley back. I don't understand the Rob Dillingham piece, though, because you traded to get him just last year from San Antonio. You went out of your way to go get him, first-round draft pick, just to give him away. I understand he's undersized, but he was showing that he could play when they finally started to give him time. Why trade him so soon?
You've got Bones, who gives you a good game every couple of games. You've got Mike Conley. You go and trade him for a guy that's a little bit more consistent right now, who's gotten a lot of burn because he was on a team that needed him to play more consistently. So I think you're wanting that project to be elsewhere because right now you have Ant and you need somebody who's ready now. And so I think the project of Rob Dillingham is great. I just think that they didn't want to be a part of that project anymore.
Okay. So we have one last major situation before the biggest fish to fry. What is happening across town from your Lakers?
It's hilarious.
I need your science for this. You trade Zubac.
I
want to start there before we get to the big fish.
Yeah. Zubac is like, I don't understand that move. Like probably one of the better players on the team. So I'm not really sure. You send off James for Darius Garland, which is not a bad move. But you're looking at possibly suspending Kawhi. The team's not looking that great with, having the Powell move and everything that you've done. So it's looking like a pack it up. It's looking like let's retry this again because it's not working. It's the Clippers. You're doing what the Clippers normally do. You're just running into the same wall and you're saying, why hasn't this moved? And you just keep running right back into it. It doesn't make any sense.
I think okay. I'm currently searching right now. What are the possible punishments for the Clippers? Right? Because that will kind of give me a structure on maybe why some of these moves. But at least from what I'm seeing, it just says significant fines, loss of draft picks, suspension, termination, possible suspension of involved executives or team personnel. Personnel is a word that I might have to look into. Like, do you just mean front office or does that include the player, which we know is Kawhi? And then voiding of contracts, which is potential, though rare, invalidation of player contracts involved in the scheme. So that kind of tells me there might be a separation between personnel versus the player. So laying that groundwork. If there's substantial fines and penalties, has nothing to do with Kawhi, why isn't he on the market? That's my question. If you lose draft picks, again, nothing to do with Kawhi. But if you start trading, Like it says forfeiture of future first or second round draft picks. I think that probably has to do with the actual contract. I could be wrong. If they're going to take those away and then put them in purgatory, I don't know why the league would necessarily want that, but you do have to have punishment. Where do those picks go? I don't know. So maybe if you trade for the picks, does that make it invalid in the contract negotiations because your pick essentially turns into nothing if they're found guilty, but you don't know right now. So if you're giving away a Zubac and you're giving away a James Harden, which we'll get to the James Harden trade in the grand scheme of things, give it all away. Right? Like I'm sure the Lakers could have threw some breadcrumbs together to get Kawhi. I'm sure a lot of other teams would have been willing to take on that possibility because he's been hooping this year. Don't know what it was about Chris Paul and whatever he said to him, but it seemed like despite his lack of absence, his message was still pure into what it is that they're looking for. James Harden's been hooping. We got caught off guard with him requesting a trade. Maybe he knows something that we don't. Maybe he does. I just can't wrap my mind around the aspect. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say Kawhi knows something. He's been at one of them parties. Ballmer was running around doing something crazy. He's got some insider information that we don't have, and that is the only reason why this man is getting away with murder, getting paid to do it, and also the face of the franchise. There has to be something that he knows.
If he did, they offered it to me. I'm just the player, right? I don't see a situation in comparison to what we've seen before. You come down.
He's not going down with the RICO though.
That's what I'm saying.
Kawhi got paid, so he's just gonna continue being Kawhi. He doesn't have to worry about that.
That's the part that I'm saying, because even if they make him forfeit the money, which I get, because I see that as part of a potential. It says voiding of contracts, potential, though rare, invalidation of player contracts involved in the scheme. So if you invalidate his contract, that's what it is. If his contract does get invalidated, he's essentially a free agent. Oh my God.
Unrestricted free agent.
So the trading, okay. Let's just
Guess who's about to have a whole bunch of money freed up this year?
So if we hypothesize here, does them trading James Harden, them trading Zubac, more or less cleaning house? You did get Darius Garland, but he's not as big of a fish as them. Is this is this foreshadowing? Are the Clippers foreshadowing after trading all of these players? Do you think it's cooked? Oh man!
You'd hate to see him across the hall. You'd hate to see him across the hall. It just might happen.
I would want to know when the investigation hammer is supposed to be dropping, because how soon Kawhi could be available, even if it comes by the summer.
You've already got your money. You just need to sign a quick deal so we can get this middle-level exception so we can keep the team together and you can do your thing, and then we can pay you next year. There's so many avenues we can do with this. Kawhi, we're down the hall, bro. We're down the hall. Let's go win us one.
You know good and well, if Bron's in that picture, I don't think Kawhi goes over there, bro. I just don't. I don't.
Not this year. I think he would.
I might leverage. The only reason that it would happen is it's clear
you don't want
Kawhi
to see
wants
it.
To be home.
Yeah, you don't want to see it. That's fine. It might happen, very likely though.
He's not the star y'all want. He don't talk enough. You don't talk enough for the LA
Lakers. We
Lakers.
need that defense. Come on over here with that defense, and we'll take that extra 18 or 20 a game.
I think San Antonio has a better chance of getting Kawhi to come back than the Lakers have of getting Kawhi.
I'm glad you showed your true colors right there.
You know what? How about this? Since Abe's making sales pitches, how about this? Tony Parker's gone. The lame is gone. How about that? He's great for the legacy. He's no longer here. You know, Pop shows love for everybody. You get to play with Wemby. Hey, y'all both love defense, long arms, big hands. Look at you. You got a twin. Easily come home. They still play commercials sometimes.
Kawhi, we
San
can
Antonio
sign
forgive
you
you.
for a mid-level exception, and then we can give you that $24 million deal you was getting under the table over across there, planting them trees. We can do that too. We could give you another one of those, go kiss some babies, and then get $30 million. We got you.
Kawhi, the Lakers could have got you before they got LeBron. You were on the table. They said no. They don't like you. Don't let them lie to you
That's
now.
not true. That's not
The
true.
Lakers could have
That's
got
not
you
true.
before they got LeBron.
Don't let them talk to you about old stuff. We're here in the future. That's what people do. They talk about old stuff. Old stuff is being a San Antonio Spur. You don't want to go back there. Hey, they didn't respect you when you were there. Come on over here. We won't put you in no trash ass, HEB commercial. We'll put you in something real so that way you can get taken care of, okay?
See, this is how I know he's moved from Texas, Kawhi, because calling HEB trash is like a death sentence out in Texas. So he might have just banned himself from coming home. You don't people are willing to implicate themselves, and that's what happens when you're a Lakers fan. You're implicating yourself for criminal buffoonery, right? You know HEB isn't trash. You were there. You experienced it. That's why the commercial is there. They had an opportunity for you before LeBron showed up, and they chose a balding man. Your hair's been growing since. Always grew. Always had the cornrows. They chose a balding man over you. Only got one ring. You can come back to South Texas, bro. You come back to South Texas, man. You know it's looking guaranteed.
man, get to the last point here, man. Kawhi don't want to be with y'all no more, man. He's been there, done that.
What? Look, man. You know what it is? San Antonio also supports culture. LA, they going white. White. Black power. Man. James Harden asking for a trade. No fat suit. What's your thoughts on the results?
I'm going to speak this directly into the mic. James said, I'm tired of this.
But they
James
were
is the only
winning,
person
man.
I know that look at a situation and go, I'm tired of this.
They were winning. That's the thing. They played themselves back in the playoff contention. They were 16-3?
Or James knows something we don't. Maybe James knows that Kawhi's contract is going to get ripped up, and then he's going to be stuck there just hooping by himself. Maybe that's the case. I think he's just tired of the shenanigans over in the Clippers, to be honest. Like, I think he's just tired of it because there was not going to be the success that he wants there as a Clipper. Like, let's just be real. They were hooping, they were doing well, but the success of them actually running for a championship was not happening this year. So I think he wanted to go somewhere where he thought there was a young core potential where he could go, where they didn't have to pull a whole bunch of players off, and they could plug them right in, and he could have a chance at actually trying to win one.
I don't disagree with you there because it's hard to even combat that just based on what information we do have now. Like, there's nothing to say otherwise. It's interesting because it's one of those few times where you were saying he's tired of the shenanigans. Usually he's the shenanigans, and that narrative is there. That's why it does look weird, because the narrative is there. So him demanding a trade from a losing team, it does fit his past history of every time something's not going right, he tries to get out. But there is an investigation on the entire organization. I can't even imagine the transition of being in LA every day to going to Cleveland. And this is with all due respect to Cleveland, Ohio. But we know it's different. I'm not
LeBron
Jakeem
left
Noah.
you for a reason.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not Jakeem Noah. I'm not hating on you at a press conference the way that he did. I'm just saying you were in LA. He was home. He's at home. And I can also say I feel like the only reason he didn't go across town, even though the Clippers may not do too much trading with the Lakers and vice versa, is because of how many guards that y'all already have over there. So it wouldn't make sense. And realistically, when you're looking at the Western Conference, I don't think there's a team that I'm looking at in the top 8 that needs a guard between OKC, nah, they're good. San Antonio, nah, they're good. Denver, Houston, LA, Lakers, Minnesota, maybe. Phoenix, yeah, and Golden State. But right behind Golden State is the Clippers. So you could have got in there. It's just all interesting. But to your point too, you're stuck with Bradley Beal. It's not even playing this year. Still on that same contract. You're stuck with Bradley Beal, who still also has a no trade clause, which is amazing too. And I don't even if the Clippers made it, we're not talking about them. You could at best, if they finish the season strong with their current team, maybe the 7th seed, which has you playing against Denver, and Denver just had y'all's number. They've had y'all's number. Don't see it being, I don't know. But going to Cleveland, on the flip side, Cleveland is significantly underperforming this year, especially coming off of last year. I don't like the combination of him and Donovan Mitchell myself. You know my stance on Donovan Mitchell. I do. You've completely given up on defense, at least in the front court. Darius Garland wasn't the greatest defender, but he at least put in a certain amount of effort. And then to combat that, outside of Detroit and a little bit of not a little bit, outside of Detroit and Boston, nobody else has defense at the front court in the Eastern Conference either. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's looking like a Mike D'Antoni situation. Get the points up. Yeah.
You know, and then you still have Mobley, you still have Allen. If they don't win this year, it's still a disappointment. It's still on Donovan to me. Y'all know how I feel. I haven't seen you make it past the second round. It doesn't help your legacy with me that you needed James Harden to then get past the second round because you have consistently had talent as Donovan Mitchell. Cool. If James Harden loses too, you're just not a playoff winner. And that's your legacy. If he does, though, does that change any of the narratives that he's created? Okay.
Unless you crown him champion.
He would be the fourth best 2 guard of all time. But he's already that now, is he not? So what does it change? Jordan, Kobe, Wade?
I'm about to say I need to sit down and look at that one. I don't know about 4th.
Jordan, Kobe, Wade. Then is it AI at the 2 position? At the 2 position with Jordan, Kobe, Wade.
I don't know. That's another conversation. I'm not getting into the specifics of that one. I'm sorry.
Fair point. Detroit, New York, Boston, Cleveland, Toronto, Philly, Orlando, Miami. That's the 8. Oklahoma, San Antonio, Denver, Houston, LA, Minnesota, Phoenix, Golden State. We did it all year during football. Give me your last, I'll say 4 teams. We don't have to go finals. We're starting the predictions now.
End of the year, last 4 teams.
Yep. Semifinals. Conference championships. Who's playing?
OKC. He's playing the Spurs. And on the East, it's a crapshoot. But New York is playing I don't know. I don't. It's such a crapshoot on the East. Like anybody can get hot, like the Pacers did last year. I don't know on the East. I might just give it to New York if they can pull it together. But again, I don't know.
Okay, I will agree with San Antonio, but I have Houston over OKC because of the way that they're starting to develop. They're in 4th place. but that's a tough fourth place. I have Houston there, depending on how it shapes up. On the East, I don't believe in New York. I don't believe in Cleveland. I think Philly's a false positive. We're going to have to come back and talk about the drastic fall of Joel Embiid. We're going to have to conversate about that. But I have Boston, based on the way that they've been playing without their supposed best player. You know me, I've been believing it was Jaylen Brown at Boston. And I think Detroit's ready. They're number one right now. I think Detroit's ready this year. I think Cade Cunningham has his mission locked in. They might be ready. That's my prediction. I want to end here, though, with this. We did it for football. Let's go ahead and end the podcast hating on the NBA All-Star Game too, bro. let's keep it clean. Let's keep it even. Let's go ahead and end the podcast and just bomb on how shitty the NBA All-Star Game is going to be next week overall, man. How you feeling? Just quick. You don't have to overthink it. You love that game, don't you? Because I know you watch every year. You usually texting us the stats and letting us know what's the update.
I'm usually texting y'all the stats of who's getting the MVP because it's called the Kobe Bryant Trophy now. So that's usually the only thing I really care about at this point, who's walking away with my man's trophy. But who cares? The NBA All-Star Game, they don't care. We don't care. And the biggest thing that I'm focused on this year is going to be the shoes that come out during this time. The NBA lets me know that, there's going to be a lot of Jordans coming out the next couple of weeks. There's going to be some good basketball shoes, Kobe Pro Trail 3 lows, all that. I'll be there. I'll be there for that. But as far as the game goes, I don't care. The dunk contest, you talk about Matt McClung. We talked about this the other day. Dirty. Who are we going to have in the dunk contest? We're going to do another Giannis year. We're going to do another one of these where we just throw some people in a hat and say, here we go. Let professional dunkers come dunk in the NBA dunk contest. They do this literally year in, year out, all day, every day. Let them come do it so that way it can at least be competitive and fun and they do some new tricks or whatever. I understand you have the brand behind the game, so you want to do it, but Michael Jordan ain't dunking no more. LeBron hasn't done a dunk contest. Zion hasn't done a dunk contest. There are people out here that would easily win a dunk contest that are not doing it because they're too cool for school. So let's get with the wave and understand that, and let's just move along. Let's find something else to do. Like we talked about the other night. Don't bring Caitlin out there. Please don't. Please don't bring. You know what? Do it, because I ain't going to be watching it. So do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. I ain't going to be watching this, so I don't care. Do what you want to do, man.
You said something that added to my turmoil about it. I'm in the same car with you, or we're driving on the same highway. Nobody cares anymore, and I'm with you on the shoes. And then you said something where it just burns for the fact that the narrative is potentially on the table that is the Kobe Bryant Award, and then they give it to LeBron in his last year. Like, it's right there for the buffoonery of what the NBA All-Star Game has turned into. The NBA.
I'm mad you even said that. I'm very upset that you even said that. I understand. I'm very upset that you just said that, though.
But you see the play. You see the NBA, and you see Adam Silver. This is there.
You see how close I got the mic. I am still upset that you said that.
You see it.
You did that to piss me off. You did that just to piss me off at the end of the pod, didn't you?
I'm already pissed. I'm pissed for you because you're gonna give this award to somebody, and based on just a tad bit of wokeness towards the end of the sports pod. Gave this.
Nope.
You gonna give this? Nope. I'm giving. You gonna give the Kobe Bryant Award in Black History Month to a man that did the MLK shoes based on the colorway of the hotel that the gentleman died in? What is happening? The NBA All-Star Game has gotten so bad. You and I came up with a new thing, a whole new topic, just to discuss times that we should have known it was cooked for the All-Star Game. That's a topic coming to y'all soon. That's how bad it is. We're going to go over the fact that Giannis was in the dunk contest. We're going to talk about the fact that we haven't seen none of these dunkers. You mentioned Zion. I forgot Zion plays. That's how bad the All-Star game is. I forgot he plays. I forgot about the fact that it was bad enough that we had to deal with people getting snubbed when they were semi-serious. You snubbed Kawhi blatantly just to go get this man over here on the actual All-Star roster. Why is he involved? Why is he even considered being a starter? People talking about giving up their space. And then the Kate McClark thing. Don't bring it up there.
How did you just kill people in Spartansburg? You went to Duke. You were doing 360 windmills in the middle of a game, busting out your shoe, and then you come to the NBA and you don't do
because he went to New Orleans where the food is amazing, and then instead of busting out of his shoes, he started busting out. It's been a great episode of this Keep It Clean Sports Show. It's been a great episode. Don't be Zion. Be better. Follow us on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at the Keep It Clean Show. You know what else is clean? Not Zion, because we've seen his choice in women, but we are, and we can continue to talk about how great things can be, because you don't want to be dirty like him, the NBA All-Star Game or the NFL Pro Bowl. You can have great opportunities of, I don't know, production and not the many. It's been a great episode. We love y'all. We are out. Go follow Go Blue 8. Follow me at Sleep Bueno. Follow the Keep It Clean movement.
Every time you see me, I keep it clean like a coaster.